Every once in a generation, a prophecy captures the world's imagination. But when Baba Vanga, the blind Bulgarian mystic who passed away in 1996, turned her sights on 2025, scientists found themselves reaching for the textbooks instead of dismissing her visions. From mind-reading tech to lab-grown organs, and even an eerie downfall of humanity, her final warnings straddle the uncanny boundary between hard science and pure speculation. Buckle up, here are the most spine-tingling predictions she left for 2025, each one more jaw-dropping than the last. Brace yourself, the downfall of humanity begins in 2025. According to reports in the New York Post, Baba Vanga warned that 2025 would mark the very start of humanity's unraveling, the downfall of humanity, in her own words, setting in motion a chain of crisis destined to culminate in the world's official end in 5079. This isn't just doom scroll fodder. Her timeline dovetails disturbingly with growing concerns about tipping points in climate models, AI safety, and geopolitical flashpoints. Whether you chalk it up to poetic license or prophetic insight, the notion that everything unravels from this year onward has left futurists debating the thin line between myth and mishap. Hold tight, shattering earthquakes will razz communities. One of her more concrete forecasts spoke of shattering earthquakes slamming into Southeast Asia in 2025, and we've already seen it happen. On March 28th, a magnitude 7.7 quake near Mandalay ripped through a roughly 200-kilometer-long area, unleashing supersonic rupture speeds and generating low-frequency tremors that resonated all the way to Bangkok. Initial estimates now place the death toll at over 5,352 people in Myanmar and 54 in Thailand, while one person died from shock in Vietnam, with thousands more injured and entire towns flattened. For geologists, the seismic intensity and aftershock patterns of this event are a sobering reminder that Mother Nature still charts her own course, one that, according to Baba Vanga, was prophesized decades ago. Imagine a content-shattering war in Europe. Baba Vanga reportedly foresaw a new conflict erupting in Europe so devastating that it would, quote, devastate the entire continent. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine now in its fourth year and NATO tensions higher than at any point since the Cold War, strategists worry about spillover scenarios, cyber offensives, border skirmishes, and even direct clashes between major powers. Whether she pinpointed specific interactions or simply sensed a broad surge in hostilities, her warning resonates in diplomatic corridors where risk assessments now include everything from energy blackmail to AI-fueled arms races. For a prophecy to focus on Europe rather than maybe some of the more usual hotspots is what makes this one stick in the minds of security experts. Don't blink, a worldwide economic disaster looms. Beyond wars and quakes, Vanga cautioned that 2025 would usher in a, quote, worldwide economic disaster. In fact, the New York Post noted her prediction of a global financial collapse tied to soaring inflation, supply chain breakdowns, and market meltdowns. As central banks wrestle with stagflation and debt levels balloon unprecedentedly, her words hit home for economists who watch indicators like yield curve inversions and rising corporate insolvencies. While no single event, be it a crypto crash or a commodities blackout, may trigger Armageddon, the confluence of crisis could indeed tip fragile economies into freefall, just as she ominously forecast. Steel yourself, the return of a supervirus. In a chilling echo of 2020, Baba Vanga predicted the resurgence of a deadly virus in 2025. Virologists note that zoonotic spillovers are increasing, with labs racing to understand viral evolution and prepare universal vaccines. The World Health Organization has already sounded alarms about novel pathogens emerging from deforestation and wildlife trade. While she didn't name the culprit, her warning has public health officials revisiting pandemic preparedness plans, stockpiling antivirals, boosting genomic surveillance, and refining lockdown protocols. If a COVID-style contagion reemerges, her prophecy may be the most actionable of all. Human telepathy goes mainstream? Could we really speak without speaking? Vanga believed that by 2025, scientists would harness brain waves for direct mind-to-mind communication. Today, DARPA's Neural Engineering System Design Program and companies like Neuralink are already implanting brain-machine interfaces to restore speech in paralysis patients. Recent trials have decoded simple words from neural patterns with up to 90% accuracy. If that momentum continues, the leap to telepathy, sharing raw thoughts, could be closer than you think. But with privacy and security hanging in the balance, could our mental chatter become the next frontier of cybercrime? I don't know. If I had a superpower, I would want to read minds because I'm really nosy. So, kind of sounds like my dream. But also, I don't know. Nobody really needs to know what's going on in here. You know what I'm saying? Get ready. Lab-grown human organs hit clinical reality. In one of her more hopeful visions, Baba Vanga predicted that scientists would perfect the growth of full-scale human organs in labs by 2025. No more transplant waiting lists. Already, researchers at institutions like the UK's Crick Institute and Harvard's Wyss Institute have bioprinted miniature hearts, kidneys, and lung tissue. CRISPR-edited organoids are moving into preclinical trials, and biotech firms are racing to upscale these organ factories. If these breakthroughs cross the final regulatory hurdles, dialysis lines and donor registries could vanish, fulfilling her prophecy with life-saving impact. Don't look away. A mysterious new energy source unveiled. Clean, limitless, almost supernatural. Vanga said that 2025 would bring the discovery of a mysterious new energy source. While she left the details vague, some point to the experimental ITER fusion reactor in France edging toward net positive energy. Private ventures like Commonwealth Fusion Systems and Helion Energy claim they could demo commercial fusion power within months. If humanity cracks the code for self-sustaining plasma or taps zero-point fluctuations, global dependence on fossil fuels could evaporate overnight, just as she foretold. Yet, the source's origin may remain as mysterious as the prophecy itself. Brace yourself, aliens make contact at a major sporting event. Perhaps her most cinematic forecast. Extraterrestrials arriving in the middle of a packed stadium, hijacking the Super Bowl halftime show or the Olympic opening ceremony. Though we haven't seen UFOs touch down in a soccer arena just yet, astronomers just detected potential biosignatures in exoplanet atmospheres, and SETI initiatives scan every passing anomaly. With billions watching a single live broadcast, there's no stage more dramatic for an otherworldly arrival. Whether a peaceful mission or a planetary invader, her vision has spurred astrophysicists to keep looking up, and network directors to plan emergency cut-ins. Believe it or not, a major cure for cancer might emerge. In a final note of hope, Vanga foresaw a breakthrough that would, quote, cure cancer in 2025. Current strides in immunotherapy, mRNA vaccines, the same tech behind COVID shots, and CRISPR-based gene editing already show remission in certain leukemias and rare tumors. Trials of personalized neoantigen vaccines are yielding unprecedented survival rates, and some experts predict a generic immunotherapy cocktail within the next 2 years. If these promise-filled pipelines translate into a universal cure, her optimistic forecast may prove to be the most transformative and least terrifying legacy. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye!